So, today's agenda on high voltage and what my ethics represent, I always welcome, respect aspects of all people's societies. That's why instead of calling myself a rapper or a rap, I called myself a rap. However, since the channel has grown exponentially, in my view, I am eternally grateful. With that being said, for those of you that love my silliness, my dancing, or my singing, or the impromptu, silly side of myself, that part of me will never go away. However, I once did a video about my opinion on Lady Colin Campbell, and people that I didn't know at all were commenting like crazy. There were 100 comments, maybe over that. And out of the 1,200 views, there were 25 people who enjoyed it that hit like. Sometimes people just don't hit like. In reference to that video about Lady Colin Campbell, I was sticking up for a YouTuber. So the intention that I had in making that video was because I really love Cheer Denise. And she reads books, okay? And I remember sharing with all of you before, one of my first videos that I put up after watching YouTube for years, I have trouble sleeping. And the one thing that helps me sleep is listening to audiobooks, but I can't afford them. So I found, well, what if I read and then at nighttime I can just listen to the story? Sometimes when you read out loud, in my experience, if you're not understanding what you're reading and you're just reading it to read, the people on the receiving end can pick that up. Like for instance, this book, Obama, I tried with Trevor to read some of it. I just could not get into it. And I went to the library as a subscriber wanted that book read. Now, on the topic of books and Cheer Denise, Lady Colin Campbell, this is how it ties up. I just wanted to give you some context. So when I started to read the Testaments in reference to The Handmaid's Tale, the Testaments, the book written after The Handmaid's Tale, it was called The Testaments, and the series was The Handmaid's Tale, and it was very popular. And I heard myself read, and based on the accident that I had, you all know, I've shared with you, I felt like my development was arrested. And because I was numbed for so long, when I went to read aloud, I sounded like I was 2 years old. And then I ran in to Cheer Denise's channel, and she's a school teacher, 36, 3 children. She's so highly intelligent. I mean, I learned so much and have learned so much through listening to her books. So instead of binge watching Netflix, what I do now is, or what I did, was I was binge listening to her books. And as a result of that, it inspired me. And as a result of that, it took me a long time, but I'm getting better at reading aloud, and I'm going to continue to do that. Hence, why, after the exorcism of Annalise Michael, I'm sticking to my word and following through with this book. And I've talked about it many a time, but instead of talking, we are going to continue doing, because I'm not letting my performance anxiety issues get in the way with the content that I know you'll enjoy. With that being said, tying everything into a neat knot about Cheer Denise, Lady Colin Campbell, and clickbait. When I did this, so this is what happened with Cheer Denise. She was reading The True Diana, The Real Diana. And this is a book that was written after Lady Diana passed away. And she sort of wrote it as an, in my opinion, as an homage. Is that the right word? An homage. She was protecting Charles. Because I also do not believe that Lady Colin Campbell does anything without a motive. And Cheer Denise had some very strong feelings about Lady Colin Campbell's YouTube channel. Now, I like Lady Colin Campbell's YouTube channel. I think she's very unique, very funny, very well-spoken, very articulate, but in the way she delivers some information, it could be perceived, in my opinion, as being very catty. And this is what I'm talking about and have spoken about in the past, about how people are picking on Prince Harry and Meghan so badly now, so badly, that when I watch The Royal Mess, I enjoy it because everybody is themselves when they get together. You can really watch people's interpersonal skills when they're with other people, which says so much about people, that I have stopped watching the individual channels. So there is something to be said about staying on your own. And in staying on my own, those of you who watch, you've come to know my personality. However, there is another side to me, which again, I'm still tying into the neat bow. I have been researching the Beckhams now for 3 days. I've watched the Netflix series 3 times. I practically have it memorized. Now, I am presenting this video when I'm good and ready. And knowing me, it'll probably be up today or tomorrow, and it will be in video form, and it will say the Beckhams. I have done a few little short videos about what I've been learning, however, just like that movie Elegy with Ben Kingsley and Penelope Cruz. I'll never forget that line from this movie. And I always thought to myself, why am I never going to forget this line from this movie? And I wish I could remember who the script writer was. And I could in 2 seconds if I asked Dr. Google. However, I can't because I'm making a video right now. And I do need to edit. And again, I will mention that Trevor is going to help me edit this video, hence why it's taking a little longer. It'll be called The Beckhams, and you will not be disappointed. Do you know that I knew nothing about David Beckham or Victoria Beckham at all, or the Spice Girls, or what they call football in the UK, which looks like soccer. And I haven't watched any YouTube. Look into my eyes. They say when people turn away, they're lying, but they're not. And if they look straight in your eyes, they're trying to convince you. But look into my eyes as much as you can. I knew nothing about David Beckham or Victoria Beckham. I was a huge fan of the Spice Girls. I remember their celebrity, and I didn't quite get it, but I absolutely understood, because Chris Beckham, well, no matter which way you go, is that the right terminology? Well, nowadays, okay, it doesn't matter what your sexuality is. You cannot tell me that the young David Beckham was not something to behold. Just like my Lance. Oh my gosh, I love Lance Armstrong so much. I have a crush on Lance Armstrong. I get crushes on people too. Like, I have a crush on Ron from The Royal Mess. That's mainly why I watch it, actually. Yeah. Oh, and he was on by himself the other day, which was great. So I enjoyed that, but I fell asleep. But I just wanted to say, so I've really tried to stay away, and I have stayed away from watching YouTube channels about the Beckhams. The only thing that I saw that prompted me to watch Beckham on Netflix was I listened to Cheer Denise, and she read Revenge by Tom Bauer about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And now he wrote a book called The House of Beckham. So I got really excited when I heard that. And then when I watched the series, just knowing the tidbits that I heard from this 3-minute video, and I think he was on Sky TV or Talk TV or Piers Morgan or one of those channels. He was on the channel on one of the channels that I subscribe to, and everything that I subscribe to, like, and comment is on my playlist. So everything I watch is on there. And I have no shame for the amount of time I spend on YouTube. In fact, I think I should get paid for the amount of time that I spend on YouTube. I'm serious. I should get paid for doing this. I plug other people's channels because I believe in them. I don't get paid to do it. Half of them don't even know who I am, even though I get hearts sometimes from making comments. I get the standard thank you, You can just hit thank you, and you don't even have to spell. See, I told you I was Chinese. Look at how stupid I would look with big eyes. Look. Wouldn't I look ridiculous with big eyes? Sorry, my hands are dirty. I was gardening. That's not true. I wasn't gardening at all. I don't know how to garden. I was outside taking care of Sophie's needs and cleaning things up. And I washed my hands, but sometimes earth gets stuck under your fingernails. It just does. No, it's not anything gross under my fingernails. At any rate,